kind of like Rob Kardashian. I mean, he's a Kardashian, but what's he doing? All right, it's time for my predictions for 2021. Now, if you're new to these videos, every year I make a video of predictions for the upcoming year. The last video that just came out in the end of December was a recap video of how well I did in 2020, how well those predictions turned out to be. And I did pretty well, even though there was a massive pandemic worldwide. In the beginning of 2020, I made 17 predictions for the year. How well did I do? Well, I'll link the video so you can watch, but 14 of those 17 were correct. Just missed on 3. So let's see if I can do that well on predictions for 2021. We're going to have a crazy year ahead of us, so let's go. And for full transparency, and to know that I do have skin in the game in these predictions, these are the private companies that I hold stock in as of the day of this recording. We're going to start in social media to begin with. And the first prediction is virtual ads everywhere. Now, here's the issue. With the pandemic and with budgets just everywhere in organizations, budgets are being cut. Budgets are being cut across the board. That includes in marketing fields. So with a lack of money, organizations still want creative content. How do you fill that gap with a decreased budget? Prediction for 2021, look for an increase of memojis, avatars, ethical deepfakes, and even virtual influencers. So Lululemon, if you need someone who wears athletic leisure constantly, you call me. Prediction number 2, look for this year to be a major year in large breakups. Now, the U.S. has really been against monopoly breakups for many, many years. It's a thing the U.S. used to do historically quite often. They haven't done it in a long time. This is the year where we begin the process back. Look at big tech specifically. Now, we ended 2020 with Facebook being looked into. I see Facebook having issues. They're going to lobby heavy, so it's going to take quite a bit. They have more lobbyists than we have senators in the United States, but Facebook gets broken up. But even more importantly, the company that I feel like should be broken up first before even Facebook is Google. Google has a monopoly in search engines. Eventually Amazon, but here's a prediction. I feel like Amazon is actually going to break themselves up instead of having the government do it for them. Next prediction, if Facebook does break up, they need to look at more verticals to increase the market capitalization of Facebook when they spin off Instagram and WhatsApp and etc. Look for shopping to fill that void. Facebook has been going toe-to-toe with major tech organizations, including Apple and Amazon for years now. Look for Facebook to increase their shopping specifically on their site. Bold prediction, something's going to happen with Shopify. Now, Shopify, if you're not used to it, it runs a lot of the retail spaces online. One of 2 things are going to happen. Either one, I actually think Facebook buys Shopify, or if that doesn't happen, Shopify acquires other organizations, retail shopping organizations, to become a shopping behemoth to really battle Amazon. Next prediction is TikTok. Now, this was a prediction I made in 2020 that a lot of students raised their eyebrows about. I said that the US government look into banning them or getting rid of them in the United States. That literally happened. And they said, how did you predict that? So where does TikTok go moving forward? Well, look for them to really defend themselves against copycats. Obviously, Reels is one of those big ones. So in 2021, TikTok will continue to battle against the US government to just be allowed to stay in the US, but they'll be battling other companies specifically for TikTok ripoffs. Look for them to differentiate themselves from Reels, for example, with music partnerships. And by these partnerships, I mean exclusive partnerships where artists will work directly with TikTok. I mean, at the end of the day, Megan Thee Stallion benefits greatly off TikTok, and TikTok benefits greatly off Megan Thee Stallion. Next prediction, Reels gets really good. Now, a couple changes have to happen in 2021 to their platform to really compete with TikTok and take the market share, which I think they're going to take a lot of that market share in 2021. But here's a couple things I predict will happen. They'll include 60 seconds Reels into the platform. They're going to increase that algorithm dramatically. I got to say, TikTok's algorithm is good. Facebook has a lot of money to put behind Reels and Instagram. So that algorithm is going to get a lot better. They're going to lean into monetization of curators. So paying curators when they create really good content. And I got a lot of hate in my class last semester for this. I told them that Reels is going to take the market share from TikTok. And they said, no way. We actually don't even like the new Instagram layout and it's terrible. Hey, People said the exact same thing when Instagram came out with stories. They said, no, it's a ripoff of Snapchat. It's horrible. I'm never using Instagram again. Oh. And then 6 months goes by and people are using Instagram stories at a higher rate than Instagram stories. So if history just repeats itself right now with Reels and TikTok, you're going to come over to Reels. Now I got 2 predictions for big media. Look for 2021 to have a big year for Warner Brothers. Now, I predicted in the past that Disney would be a big banger, and I got that one right with Disney Plus. They surpassed all of their metrics for Disney Plus. This year, look for Warner Brothers to make big pushes. Now, they've already announced that they would send their movies directly to streaming for free through HBO Max. So I can't take credit for that one, right? That's already happened at this point. But other main big pushes are coming out. Think of the outlets and the brands that Warner Brothers owns. CNN, for example, putting CNN behind a paywall. Next prediction, movies turn into series. Now, we'll have some movies. I'm not saying movies are dead by any means, but we'll have a lot less movies and a lot more TV series. For example, Queen's Gambit. I really got into that show, Queen's Gambit. That was originally a movie that was turned into a series. We're going to see a lot more of this. Disney is already proving that their series are more profitable than a movie. Getting you to subscribe to a monthly payment all year is much more profitable than getting you to go to a movie here and there, especially how much money it causes us to advertise to you every single time we have a movie coming out. We don't need to do that for Disney Plus. So look for streaming services to push out more series content that would have originally been a movie. And I know one of the big predictions a lot of people say is like movie theaters are dead and there's going to be no more movie theaters. Now, to an extent, there are still going to be movie theaters, but they're going to lead into experiential movie theaters. Now, we're going to see this a little bit 2021, but again, we're not going to be out of a pandemic until the last few months of 2021, in my prediction. So look for movie theaters to lean into more of the luxury movie theaters that we already have today with the Lazy Boys, and there's only like 30 or 40 seats in the entire theater. Fancy cocktails, food, it's an experiential opportunity. Those are going to succeed. Those theaters will do very well. The theaters with 150 people crammed in to watch a movie, no. I'm going to watch a movie at my house on my couch. So what do movies moving forward look like? Look at experiential. If it's a date, I'm going to take my date to the movie theater. I want the drinks. I want the experience. If I just want to watch the new James Bond, I'm going to do that at my house. Look for sales of couches and speakers and home furnishing to explode in 2021. Now let's look at predictions in business. Last time I predicted that telehealth and disrupting the health industry, specifically by big tech, would happen. That happened. Amazon got into pharmaceuticals. That's only going to increase. Not much of a dramatic prediction right there, but telehealth will increase in 2021. Here's a bold prediction though. Walmart will get into telehealth. They need to compete with Amazon at a high level. Walmart, who is not part of healthcare right now, will be. Next prediction is with retail. Now, just like movie theaters, experiential is key. Retail also needs to lean into this. Main takeaway, if you have departments in your store, there's no future there. Look at Apple as an experiential store. Look at something like JCPenney's, who's already went bankrupt, as the idea of old retail. No, retail is not dead. There'll still be physical stores. There'll still be new physical stores as we go along. We're not going all virtual. People thought that in the past as well. It never happened. Physical is still king. It's just the physical map and what that store looks like and the footprint is going to change dramatically. Small stores, big back rooms. Look for that in 2021. Next prediction, businesses start leaning into metrics that measure societal issues. These metrics will look at how society feels about certain cultural or societal issues going on right now. These metrics will be used directly to inform their marketing strategy, their communication strategy for the year. Here's the issue. Businesses like numbers. They want to make a metric for anything whatsoever. So if you have an idea to create a metric-based dashboard that measures sentiment of cultural relevance in the United States, it'd be a good time to start that business in 2021. But metrics can't speak on culture? They will in 2021. Next prediction, Roku does something. They either get bought out by a big time player or they have some sort of partnership with a big time player. Roku has so much potential, but they just kind of are around. You know the brand, but what are they really doing? It's kind of like Rob Kardashian. I mean, he's a Kardashian, but what's he doing? Next prediction, acquisitions of home gym companies skyrocket in 2021. It's going to be a dark, dark year for traditional gyms in 2021. At-home equipment will skyrocket. Acquisitions skyrocket. How do you stunt if you're a 35-year-old in the suburbs? You have a Peloton van in your parking lot dropping off a brand new Peloton. They get acquired. Next prediction, easy. Zoom is not sustainable. They either get acquired or they partner with a major tech label. Sure, today Zoom is king, but there was a day where Redbox was the innovative new organization. They have a ceiling. The big companies, Google, Salesforce, Microsoft, they're the whales in the ocean. Zoom can't win forever. Next business prediction. Organizations and businesses look to bring in childcare resources within their company. Now, here's the issue. We know that remote working is going to increase. That's not really much of a prediction. It's going to happen. Two positions must stay on premises on location. One are leadership positions. You're not going to have many leaders via Zoom or remote. Also, recommendation-wise, your early employees probably shouldn't be virtual. Your opportunity for quick growth virtually is much less than on ground. But how do we support diversity in those leadership positions? We know that in 2020, it affected genders differently. Women were more affected negatively in the workplace because in a lot of areas, depending on single mothers, et cetera, it's much more difficult to stay at home with children and try to work remotely and juggle the two things. We saw in 2020 that affected women at a higher rate than their male counterparts. For businesses to make sure that their leadership council is diverse within genders, they need to support the hurdles that certain genders have that other genders don't have at a statistical rate. That means offering on-ground childcare services is not only a benefit package for recruiting new employees, but it supports your diversity initiatives specifically among genders at your leadership level. Next prediction. I made a big call in 2020 that tech and healthcare would be a big thing, and I called that one very correctly. Here's the thing moving forward. Obviously, that's going to increase, but the big one is technology, the big tech companies, and education specifically. We're going to see a huge uptick in these organizations, in these new builds in 2021. Now, I'm real passionate about this, and this could be an entire video by itself, but look for tech companies to come up with a great equation that marries technology, scale, lower tuition, personalization, and certification upon graduation. To wrap up predictions, we're going to give two predictions around politics. First, unfortunately, we are going to see an uptick of conspiracy theories revolving and tailored toward Vice President Harris. Why? 2020 was a crazy year as far as conspiracy theories go. Conspiracy theories are an all-time high right now. Looking at Harris moving forward, possibly setting her up for a 2024 presidential race. Look for conspiracy theories to ramp up each year, but starting in 2021. And which theories specifically? Well, just take a quick look at that one uncle or aunt on Facebook and see what they're posting recently. I'm sure you can get some ideas. Final prediction. President Trump leans into and creates a new media outlet that is subscription-based and online only. Now, this platform of subscription-based and online only is genius. It is the way to go. We're going to see more and more news outlets move in this direction. Now, he's going to take credit for being the first one when others follow suit. New York Times was really the first one, but he will make a major splash in 2021 in the media landscape. All right, so those are my predictions for 2021. But here's what I want. I want to hear your predictions for 2021 in the comments in this video. This is what I want you to do. I want you to put at least one prediction, maybe a few if you have them, but at least one prediction you have for 2021. Maybe something in business, politics, social media, retail, anything whatsoever. What predictions will you put out there right now for 2021? We can come back to it at the end of this year, see who's right, who's wrong. And the comment of the week in our last video was from Travis. Travis says, if you like the video, like the video. Let's all have a fantastic 2021. We'll see you next week.